Hi, welcome back. Do you know about dry docking? Well, for a vessel to remain in class, it has to be dry docked once every 5 years. Now, because of inadequate capacity, we can't do it in Nigeria. So those vessels have to go to neighboring countries like Ghana and Cameroon, and all that foreign exchange goes with it. But I have good news. Despair not, because NIMASA is about to change the narrative. It has received its own floating dockyard and shipyard. That's very good news. So, watch this next report as our Director General, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, gives us a brief on how the floating dockyard shall be operated. This is the multi-million-dollar floating dockyard of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. It arrived the country some weeks ago. It has the capacity to save Nigeria over $100 million, which is the approximate current annual costs of overseas dry docking of vessels operating in Nigerian waters. The NIMASA Director General, Dr. Dakuku Adol Peterside, announced that the builders of the floating dockyard will be part of the team to manage it at the initial stage.
We have made two alternative arrangements. One is to locate the dockyard in a naval facility. So the dockyard is in the country. It will be located in a naval facility. It will operate from a naval facility for the next 1 year. Any moment from now, we have extended a letter of invitation to the President Commander-in-Chief to come and commission the floating dockyard so that we can commence operations. I've always said that when the dockyard commences operations, it will save the country nothing less than $100 million per annum. It will not only save the country $100 million per annum, it will create jobs for so many of our young people. It will help them build new skills. Then it will also save ship owners the inconvenience of taking vessels to neighboring countries to go and dry dock. So that's where we are with the floating dockyard.
The floating dockyard has the capacity to dry dock 3 vessels at the same time. It's considered the 5th largest on the African continent.
We are going to outsource the management of the floating dockyard. In interim, what we have done is that the firm that built the floating dockyard will got our board to approve that they should manage it for 1 year. They manage the technical aspects, and we get NIMASA to manage the financial aspect. They are managing the technical and the marketing aspect. That's the interim arrangement. So we are outsourcing the management of the floating dockyard. NIMASA is not managing the floating dockyard.
NIMASA is currently engaging stakeholders in Nigeria on how best to maximize the benefits of the dockyard for Nigeria. The agency is consulting with the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC. During one of his working tours of the facility, the Acting Director General of the ICRC, Engineer Chidi Izua, commended NIMASA current administration for achieving this feat.
It will create jobs. We need jobs. We need jobs in the maritime sector. It will create jobs. It will also stop the outflow of foreign exchange from Nigeria. You are aware that many vessels in Nigeria have to go to Cameroon, Ghana, or other countries for maintenance. That is foreign currency, which we can ill afford going out. It will save the foreign currency. It would also be catalytic that now you start to create a ship maintenance, shipbuilding and ship effort. So now that this floating dry dock has come here, what it is doing is creating a new vista of business for the blue economy. So next time we will be able not just to repair ships here in the floating dry dock, we should be able to build our own floating dry dock and increase that technological upskill that we require, because we're a maritime economy, we're a maritime country, and we need to play in the maritime space. And shipbuilding, ship repair, dry docking, it's a very critical and important component of that maritime domain. So NIMASA, under my very good friend, the Dr. has done something very spectacular for our country. And this is in line with the agenda of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, which is to diversify our economy. This is diversification. This is something that we would have done outside before, but we're creating the local capacity and the capability to do that here. So that's why this is really very important, and we are very happy to be here to work on this project with NIMASA.
Engineer Izu assured Nigerians of better times ahead for stakeholders in the maritime sector.
Nigeria is an investor's dream. Any investor who comes here will have more than his returns. And Nigerians are hardworking people. Nigerians are educated, and more importantly, the ease of doing business, efforts of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, driven by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, led by His Excellency Vice President Osibanjo. What they have done, to make it easier to do business in Nigeria, visa on arrival. People don't need to queue and get visas. They can come here, get their visas on arrival. You have company registration done online and offline and everything. So you see that there's an ecosystem that is being built to support. So really, to support the blue economy. So really, we have to do business in West Africa and Africa. The number one place is Nigeria.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.